Thank you for the time you're spending to watch this in one contractor. We're going to begin by a brief overview. You can see we have a dashboard widget on the screen here at your home screen, which you would click to by going to home at any time. You'd be able to see everything that's billable now to your clients, what's in progress, open balance, what's due now, deposit balance, payments needed, payments to make, and so forth, as well as how many items are starting today on the schedule, ready to schedule or complete this week, and so forth. Over to the right, you'll be able to see who's contributing to sales. Scroll down a little bit on the screen here and you'll see 4 key reports. Your first report is active customers. Your next is the pending projects for those customers, as well as the third report, which will show any projects that are in progress for those customers and any open invoices you might have for them. You can also do a search by customers, projects, resources, purchase orders, work orders, invoices, group items, and even time cards. Right there. You scroll back up, you can switch to the views for your own personal reports, the job calendar, view jobs on a Google map, user manual, and setup instructions. The entire dashboard, everything you see, is customizable. It just depends on you and how much you want to see. So now we'll begin by adding a new customer. We're going to begin by selecting a name, selecting a type, reviewing the other default fields. We're going to call this Built Right Custom Homes. We'll give them a credit limit. And we'll skip this field. John. We give him his email address, and when we do a company, more email fields open in, so you can add in a contact, estimating contact, or billing contact. This is where you put in the company address. So we will put in 311 Ranch Road, 620 there, CW Ranch Road in Cedar Park, and we could add any notes to the client. Now we'll go ahead and hit save. Now we're ready to add our first project. Click on the project, and we will call it floors, simply that. We'll go and leave everything else that's pretty much a default at the moment. The information is copied over from the company contact information. If they had a gate code they needed to record for the home, or maybe a lockbox, we get it recorded there, which would transfer if there work orders. Now we're going to put what type of project this is. By setting the job type, you will notice that the way this application is set up, you can associate the job type with what is taxable, and if you're paying tax at the time of purchase, and if so, is it taxable going to apply on the materials and or labor. Next, you can go change the terms to something you would like. You could have a preferred send email method by email or fax. Some third-party attachments might be required, and so forth. And then you would set the price margin. We're going to say builder, and then we'll go ahead and hit save. So now the project's set up, and guess what? We're ready to go ahead and enter bid items. So I'm going to click create bid items. Bid items are awesome because you can go pick any one of these bid items, and let's say once you do, select a category, you can select anything within that category, and then begin to mate the part that you select with the primary part, which you can look at by item SKU or part description. So the nice thing about this is if you just know part of what you're typing in, you can go type in and it will show you everything else that is meeting that requirement. So now we'll go back and I'll show you a different way. I'm going to clear this field out. I'm going to go and add a group configuration, which is like adding multiple of these at once. So let's go add in pre-finished wood floors, and boom. Now all those are loaded for me. So now I can go in and type in English pub, pick out brandy wine. I can do 609 square foot of raw quantity material. I have 1 bag of float per 100 square feet typically. I have 1 freight charge, and I have sheet molding which is usually somewhere around the neighborhood of 30% of that figure. So I'm going to go 480 linear feet. And now I can create bid items. Boom. As soon as I click create, I'm out of screen, which looks like a spreadsheet, and it's called Grid Edit. Now I can go put in wood floor areas, entry, dining, family, and great room. Okay. So basically I put in the areas, and this information will translate over to the technician's work orders later on. I can also add any other particular detail that I'd like. These items are pre-programmed in with a specific vendor we would use, so there's no need to re-add the information here. However, the primary product would be necessary to add. So now we have 1,609 square feet, $3.69, quantity per box, waste factor. If I've got a very difficult installation, I can increase that. All the math is done for me. I can add any overriding values for labor costs, sales rate total, or I can remove any of these bid items from the estimate. Now I'll hit save. So now I've created an estimate. So if I want to go ahead and send this to my customer, I could preview it, or if I'm confident that the numbers are how I want to present them, I can click Send Estimate for Signing. That will send an estimate for the customer that they can actually sign, and when they sign it, we will get a notification back of receiving it with their signature. It will also contain the amount that they approved the estimate for and any change order amount. Next, we can go ahead and begin ordering materials. We do this by going to the Purchase Order tab, or by going to one of these icons right here. The icons here will change colors according to the status of the job. For simplicity's sake, we'll go to Purchase Orders. Now, we don't have any purchase orders created, so we'll hit this button. And as you can see, purchase orders are quickly created. And we will go in and order these materials with these suppliers. We could also send the purchase order with a third-party access by emailing or faxing them over a purchase order. We would record the information and read off these line items for them. And then once we do that, we would come up in here, update purchase orders, record the help by, reference number, lead time, and of course final cost. Next, once the items are ordered and we're ready to schedule the job, we would go to work orders. And then at the work order screen, we would go click that button, create the work orders, and click OK. And voila, we're at the screen where you would go in and your job is pre-filtered for you. You would be able to go in and check all these items that you're ready to schedule. And let's say we're looking for a hole in the schedule. And so we want to go, say, where, say, Dan is available. Okay, so now we can see that Dan's available a whole lot more now that we look here. So we take our unscheduled items, click to assign to Dan, and now we just simply go pick a date that we want these items to be installed. And hit assign. So now this job has been scheduled, and now we can go back, and you can see now we have a complete work order. If we were going to email or send by text a link to the work order, we could simply click that button. The work order shows the total completed, not completed on the job. And now we can see all the work order details that'll be on here as well. If you notice, here's an estimated time that you can associate with your labor items, which then calculates out according to the quantity and provides an estimated number of man hours that will be necessary to do this job. You can also therefore go by and add in time to these hours and record how many man hours are actually spent on the duration of this job. So you can record it to the actual bid item to the job, or just in general to the job. If you go over to the time card area, you'll see here's your total of estimated hours, and as time is recorded, you will see the hours accumulated here. I want to add that you can integrate this time factor with employees that would be used on jobs and make the transactions go in to be processed for your payroll inside of QuickBooks. This is an addition that will be possible for you on the Bridge Easy program that specifically works with this application. So now I'm going to go ahead and go back to work orders. And let's pretend that the work is already complete. I'm going to update the work order percent. Now I'm going to say this job is 50% complete. Okay? So now you can see these rows are a lighter shade of green. That's because partially complete is going to be a lighter shade of green. When they're 100% done, they'll be 100% dark green. I'm going to click a labor payment. Now what this just did here is this puts a labor payment ready to go inside of QuickBooks. So when you run the Bridge Easy program, which will process your customers, projects, and estimates inside of QuickBooks for you, so that you have double data entry, it will also write the labor checks and job cost it for you. So now we'll click OK. Though we will not cover the Bridge Easy process in this program, just wanted you to see how easy that was. Now we'll go back and mark the job 100% complete. So anything that was now left unpaid is now been paid. You can see the darker shade of green. So now I go back, click the labor payments, and it'll be done. So that's how the job is marked complete. Next I go to the Invoice tab, and I can create a progress invoice on the job. Now I can go in and create the invoice, and I can click this button right here and send it to my customer, and then I'm pretty much done. I have now invoiced out my customer. They would receive that email in any way we'd like to be received by them. When a signature is captured on a job, it would be in this area. Customer would receive an email notification showing them the estimate, and then they'll be able to click a button just like this that says sign, and they will go in and be able to sign it and save. And then they'll see a print signature button, which will present them the estimate, of course, that they have been able to sign, and of course with their signature, and as I said earlier, an estimate total and a change order total and the date and time signed. So this is pretty much the quick demonstration of this application. We look forward to your feedback and your questions. Thank you.